It's so funny how in these big, 1,000-page COVID relief bills, they always have these little things built into them.
Yeah.
And the last one Trump signed in December 2020, it had in there, they have 180 days for the CIA to release all information on UFOs.
Yeah, that was funny.
So are you guys, what's going on? Are you guys going to release that? Why was that put in there?
I think it's already been released. I feel like it's already been released. I think CIA already released like 2,200 pages of UFO and unidentified aerial phenomena.
Yeah, but there was nothing really in that.
Well, we don't know. First of all, what's really funny is nobody knows what's really in it, because all the complaints right now from the people who would be going through it is how difficult it is to page through all the documents. Because these are like documents from the 50s and 60s.
Right.
Like paper documents that have been basically just force-fed through a scanner. It's difficult to sort through all that. But yeah, on top of that, nothing has been found. I would say that the reason nothing has been found is because CIA's authorities, CIA's mission is to collect foreign intelligence, like foreign intelligence that is foreign nations that the United States is in some kind of relationship with. An unidentified flying object, an alien race that we are not in any kind of relationship with, would not fall under CIA's purview.
Right.
Most likely it would fall under DOD's purview. It might fall under DOE's purview, right? It would be totally wackadoodle. So it makes sense that CIA does have some documentation on UFOs, because as the stuff comes in, and when you look at what has come in from CIA, it's like sightings in foreign countries by diplomats and whatever else. It makes sense that they would have some files.
Right.
But the people who think that like CIA is in charge of Area 51, I'm almost positive Area 51 is Air Force controlled.
Right.
Right? And then you've got, like, it just goes on and on. Their authorities have nothing to do with anything that would ever be extraterrestrial. But that's not what people want to hear. That's not what they believe. That's not what they've been told by TV shows. CIA must be in charge of UFOs. They've got 2,000 pages of documents that are like 50 years old, and they don't know how to organize it. So I don't think they're in charge.
Do you think that there's alien beings flying ships to the U.S. and we have control of any of them?
I love this question, because when people think UFOs, when people think aliens, they're still conditioned from our childhood. We're thinking sci-fi, right? We're thinking Star Trek aliens and Star Wars aliens. We're thinking humanoid aliens, basically, right?
Right.
Why aren't we thinking about aliens like we think about zooplankton in the ocean? Like tiny, minuscule, little living organisms that you can't even see. Why do we think that they're flying in ships that are visible to us?
Well, because we have reports of them, like detailed video reports of them, of these things off the Air Force pilot,
The Navy pilots, yep.
the Navy pilots off in San Diego, who literally have visuals of these things jamming their radars, which is an act of war, and going from point A to point B in less than 1 second.
Yeah, it's an amazing technology, right? But it's all something that's within the realm of what we can imagine, which to me, whenever you come across anything that's conventional, the most logical conclusion is that it was made by a conventional thinker. So it strikes me much more likely that it's a weapon or some sort of device that was some sort of technology that was created by the U.S. or by some other first world, adversary. It makes the most logical sense that somebody else has created this amazing technology, and we don't know about it. And the first time that we saw it was here. Could it be alien? Absolutely, it could be alien. But is it like 51% alien, 49% it's just developed some other weapon system in the U.S. or some other weapon system in Russia? Who knows? There's not enough information to say that is extraterrestrial technology. There's enough information to say this looks like it's something that our radar could even pick up, right? It's something that's flying around in our atmosphere. I think of it like, if there's an alien race out there that has come to the Earth and come to the United States and has observed us, what makes us think that we're even close enough to their level of technology to observe them back, even accidentally? What makes us think that's possible? Right? I think of it like insects. If you walk over an anthill, right, the ants in the anthill basically don't move. They don't change anything, because you're so big. You're like, we as human beings are so far out of whatever they deal with day to day that they don't even see us as a threat, right? We're just a thing. So some massive alien technology that can travel through space at the speed of light and observe foreign cultures or observe other planets, they would most likely know how to observe us without us even knowing that they're observing us.
Mm-hmm.
They would be this giant thing that just flies over and we don't even know it's there, right? For whatever reason. They would most likely not be some little tic-tac that we can pick up on our own radar scanners. It's in the visual light spectrum. What sense does that make, right?
Right, because they would have to know that there's Navy ships and Navy planes flying around everywhere, especially if they, I mean, I think
why would they risk it?
when he radioed it in, I think they were like, or when he reported it to his chief or whoever was, above him in the chain of command, he was like, right, we've been seeing these. So it wasn't the first time someone had seen one of those.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be anything. I am not saying it's not alien. What I'm saying is, why are we pointing to it being alien?
So what's the other option?
The other option is scarier, and I think that's why we point to it being alien. Because the other option is that either American military technology is so advanced that we don't even know we can do this stuff, or one of our foreign adversaries, their technology is so advanced that we didn't even know they were able to do this stuff. That's the scarier alternate. The scarier alternate is that little tic-tac flying around at super speed is a Russian-controlled cruise missile, and they now have that technology, and we had no idea that it existed. That's even scarier than thinking that some alien life form...
That is way fucking scary.
...is like observing us peacefully. Like, that's the truth of it. Like, almost all of your major UFOs have always tied back to military aircraft or military developments of some sort, right? Anything that's been exposed, whether it was the SR-71 or the B-2 or even the B-1, right? Cruise missiles, drones, unmanned aerial vehicles, all went back to weaponization. They were first seen by some innocent bystander in the desert in Nevada or whatever, and they just proved out to be American weapon technology.
And to weaponize space, right?
Yeah, well, weaponizing space is a whole different story. Like, some people think that we've been doing it for a long time. Technically, ICBMs get shot from space, right?
What is an ICBM?
An intercontinental ballistic missile.
Okay.
A nuclear missile.
Right.
Basically goes up into space, does a half of an orbit, and then fires down a warhead, like a gun, shoots a warhead down. So technically, according to the current space treaties, nothing can be in orbit around the Earth that is a weapon, but things can go into partial orbit that are a weapon.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the space.
I didn't know they went into space like that.
Yeah. And that's why all of our, like, the radars, the lasers that can detonate incoming missiles, all those things can be triggered from, different parts of the atmosphere that could be technically called space. So the weaponization of space is kind of a funny thing to talk about because it's kind of happening when China launched a rocket to blow up a satellite that then just shattered a satellite and put, tens of thousands of pieces of space debris. That was essentially just a giant scatter bomb in space. So
when did they do that?
2010, I think it was, when they blew up one of their own satellites with a ground-based missile.
Why the hell would they do that?
Well, they claimed that it was because the trajectory of the satellite was going to bring it into like some dangerous zone. It was going to land in like a populated city. At the time, there was a essential like space GPS race with China. So it was largely seen as a show of force that China was saying, we can shoot your satellites out of space, America, if we choose to. And to show you, we're going to shoot one of our own satellites out of space. And then it just created this gigantic train wreck of flying space debris that messed everybody up.
Yeah, it turned a bullet into a shotgun shell.
Exactly. But that's the weaponization of space, all within the confines of the space treaty that we all said we would never put orbiting weapons into space. Mm-hmm. So,
well, wasn't there just like a recent big show of force with China? What was that in the news? I don't know much. I just heard it recently that there was a big show. Like they showed like their Navy, like there's a big naval show of force.
Oh, those happen pretty frequently. I mean, even amid coronavirus, I'm pretty sure China did like a military parade.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're very proud of their Navy. They're developing their Navy. They're developing their aircraft carrying capabilities, their forward deployed capabilities from the sea. Like their littoral capabilities are all on the rise. They invest a ton in terms of a percentage, they invest a ton of the percentage of their GDP back into their own military. But I'm pretty sure that the portion, even though they invest like 8% back into their military infrastructure, it still pales in comparison to the 2% that we invest in our own military capacity. So people get all wound up about China investing in their future military. They are, but it's still, they can't compete, renminbi per dollar against what we're spending.
Right.
And they're, decades behind us in terms of innovation and technology. So they're using old technology to create new weapons, whereas we use new technology to create new weapons. So it's a completely different model, but one that still makes people nervous.